welcome to the session on functions in Python. In Python, function is a block of organized reusable code that is used to perform a particular task. So, in functions people can code as per our requirement. Otherwise, in Python we have lot of inbuilt functions also. Functions provides better modularity and reusability of code, and Python gives us many inbuilt functions, but we can also create our own functions that are called as user defined functions. Code maintenance also is very easier while using the functions in Python, because as and when we people would like to develop some new functionality in the program, we can simply add a new function into it. So, first of all, we need to understand what is the difference between functions and method. So, when a function is written inside a class, it is called as method. Otherwise, a function is a block of code written to perform a specific task, and a function is called by its name and method is called by two methods. First one is object name dot method name. So, this is a syntax. We can specify the name of the object dot and then method name. Similarly, another method for calling a method is class name dot method name. In Python, there are rules for defining a function. So, let us see what kind of constraints are there or what kind of rules needs to be followed for writing a function. So, first of all, function block begin with the keyword def followed by the function name and then parenthesis. We can check it from the syntax also, like here the very first line of the function is having the def keyword. After that we can have the function name, and within parenthesis we can specify the parameters or any number of arguments that we are going to use. After this we can specify function docstring. So, it is a kind of comment if we want to give regarding the function, and after that we can specify function suite, means the block of code that we want to execute inside the function. And the last one is return statement. Return can be along with some return value, or we can also make use of return statement without returning any value. So, in the beginning we will consider a simple example in order to understand how to define a function, how to call it, and what kind of function we can perform. So, for this we have taken one function with the name change me. Def is the keyword, so that is why it is coming in different color in Jupyter notebook. Change me is the name of the function, and within this we are receiving a argument, that is my list, and we need to check it out what kind of values are there in this. My list is a variable that is having reference to list of values, like here within square brackets we have mentioned 10, 20, 30, 40. So, my list is having reference to this particular list, and after this we are calling the function with the name change me, and we are passing this my list. So, while writing a function, these are important things, that what kind of function definition is there, how many number of arguments are there, what we are going to perform in the function, and the place from where we are calling the function. So, you can see that we are calling the function change me with the argument my list here, and when it will call this particular function, it will execute this particular code. So, in this function we have tried to assign different set of values like 1, 2, 3, 4, and after this we are trying to see the values of this particular list by using the print statement, print values inside function, and after this we are specifying the list, my list. So, as we are using the return statement at the end and we are not returning anything out of this function, so what will happen when we will try to execute this set of block, then it will show us the different set of values inside the function. So, values inside the function are the list values which are mentioned inside the function. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, and values outside the function are same as earlier before calling a function, that is 10, 20, 30, 40. So, the effect of function is not visible because we have not returned the changed value for the mylist variable. So, we can also make use of function by returning the expression or by returning certain values. So, this is here in the next example. So, we have made a slight change in the previous example. This time inside the function we have assigned the values again 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we are at the end returning the mylist. So, by returning this mylist, what will happen? It will be stored here in the mylist1 variable from where we have just called the function. So, this statement we are referring right now, mylist1 equals to change me and within brackets mylist. So, when we are calling change me function, the values are changed for mylist and these are returned by using the return statement at the end, and then values outside the function are displaying this particular change. So, you can see that if we try to execute this particular code from this run command, so you can see that the message displayed is values outside the function and values inside the function. The values inside and outside the function are same here because after calling the function the values are changed to 1, 2, 3, 4, but in the earlier example it was not like this and we were getting the different values. So, in this manner we can make use of functions in Python by returning the set of values and without returning anything. So, here is the next example of using a function. We are trying to calculate the factorial of a particular number. It is a well known example in any programming language. So, for this we are making use of first of all this for loop for I in range 1, 11. So, we are expecting that this particular loop will run from 1 to 10, one value less than the ending value of range function. And then with the help of print command we are simply printing factorial of a particular number, say I is fact of I. So, fact of I is a function here, and as soon as we will execute this command it will execute this function defined above. And inside the function you can see that there is one variable PROD for product. It is assigned or initialized to 1. After this we are using while loop for calculating the factorial. So, while n is greater than equal to 1 colon product equals to product into n. So, we have used here assignment operator multiply equal to, and it is equivalent to product equals to product into n. Then n is decremented by 1 and at the end after the execution of this while loop return the value of variable PROD. So, after this it will again go back to the print command from where we have called the function, and after execution of this block of code you can see that the outcome is first of all factorial of 1 is 1, then factorial of 2 is 2 here, factorial of 3 is 6 and so on. So, the loop is running up to I value equals to 10. So, after this the example is with respect to function that returns two results. So, for this we have taken a function with the name sum underscore sub, and in this particular function simply we are receiving two values a and b, and we are computing two things here. One is sum of these two numbers, another is a minus b, that is subtraction. We are getting the difference of a minus b. So, after this it will be stored here in two variables x comma y. So, you can see that in Python we also have provision to assign two values in the same statement, x comma y equals to sum underscore sub, the function that we have called, by passing the value 10 comma 5. So, 10 is corresponding to a, 5 is corresponding to b variable. So, after doing this you can see the result of addition and subtraction by simply displaying the resultant values of x and y above this statement. So what we are expecting, if it is 10 and 5 value, then 10 plus 5 15. You can see that the result achieved is result of addition is 15 and result of subtraction is 5. One more example is there, function inside another function. So in this you can see that there is a possibility of calling one function from another function also. So for this we are primarily calling the function display in this print command, print display, and within parenthesis we are passing it a string, that is Krishna. So when this display function is called, you can see the coding of display. So here we are, it is receiving the string value in the display function, and inside this function again one more function is defined with the name message, and in this function we are returning the value simply how are you, this statement how are you. So from this function display, this is the place from where we are calling this function. So what we are doing, we have defined two functions, one with the name display, another with the name message, and we are calling this message function from inside the display function. So when we are calling here message, it will return the value how are you and plus str, that is we are concatenating the value of string here. So in string we are receiving the value passed here as Krishna. So the ultimate outcome will be here how are you Krishna. So the output is displayed here. Next to this is how to create a function to modify a variable value. So in this case sometimes the confusion is when we are assigning some different value, whether it is showing the same ID for that or not, that is it doing the changes at the same memory location or not. So you can see from this example that initially x is initialized to 10, and then we are calling the function with the name modify x, and then we are printing the result x comma id, that is identifier corresponding to the x variable. So when this modify function is called, this coding is executed, and inside this we are assigning a new value to x variable, that is 15. So if you will try to print the id number of x variable from inside a function and from outside a function, you will see that there is a different value corresponding to these two variables, even if the variable name is same. So one ID is 17924388176, and it is different from the ID displayed at the other place, that is 17924388016. So you can always check what kind of change is happening at the back end. Similarly, another example is there for function which can be used to pass function as a parameter. Till now we have seen that either we are passing some variable name or we are passing some static values. So in this particular example we are passing a function name as an argument. So you can see that this is a print command. So we are calling a function show over here, and within that we are passing a argument with the name function, greet function. So once this show function is called, it will receive this name of the function, that is greet, as an argument, and after that we are just reading a value for the greet underscore per. This is one variable and it is just taking a string value, and then we are returning greet me plus greet underscore per. So this greet me is basically the value corresponding to the function that we are passing to the show function. So inside the definition for greet, you can see that what is happening, define greet, return how are you. So finally what will happen, first of all while calling the show function, greet will return the value how are you, and then this value is concatenated here with the value that you are reading in this statement. So let us try to run this. So once you have executed this program, it will ask enter the person name. So if you are typing here Isha, press enter. So it will display the message how are you Isha, and this is just because of passing a function inside another function. So, in this manner there is different type of possibilities and we can make use of functions in different manner. So, after this there are some interesting functions that comes under math functions, and similarly you can also have inbuilt functions with respect to strings. So, quickly we are going to cover some of the inbuilt functions that we can execute on this. So, first of all we have taken a equals to 10, 20, 34, 56. So, this is a simple list. I want to find out maximum out of this. So, simply the name of the function is max, and within arguments you specify the name of the list. So, after this you can print the maximum underscore number, this variable value, in order to see the maximum. Similarly, you can run min and you can pass the list to it. Out of the list it will identify the minimum value, and you can directly use another function, that is sum of a. So, all the elements of the list will be added together and the value will be returned. And if you want to find out average, then you will have to make use of one more function, that is length, len, and within arguments you can pass a. So, you can see that I have calculated here average of the list, and for that we have used this syntax avg underscore list, that is average underscore list, equals to sum underscore list divided by len of a. So, the value corresponding to sum underscore list is divided by length of the list, and we can display the average of the values. Other way around, we can also make use of one more package in Python, that is known as statistics. So, you can see that here we have tried to find out the mean of the values. Mean underscore list equals to mean of the list. But before we execute this command, we need to import from statistics, import mean, right. So, we will have to always take care that whether the required package in Python is imported or not. After this we have used here round function. Round is a very common function in maths, and through this you can round off the value mentioned as an argument. So, in the first example, round within parenthesis 1.68 comma 1. So, it will be rounded off to one digit. You can specify the number of digits also. In another example, we have taken round within parenthesis 1.44, and the second argument is not given, that is we have not specified the number of digits to which we want to round off the value. So, in this case it will simply round off the value to the nearest integer. In case of 1.44 it will return 1, and if the value is 1.87 then it will return the value 2. So, you can just see the output also corresponding to all the statements by using the inbuilt functions. Maximum out of list is 56, minimum out of list is 12. Next you can see that sum of numbers displayed here 122 and so on. So, in this manner you can check various operations by using the inbuilt functions. Similarly, you can have some string functions also, like here in str1 we have saved the string rimpy, and I want to replace ri character with shi. So, for this we need to make use of the string function, that is replace. Specify the name of the string str1 dot replace, within brackets specify the first string that you want to replace, that is ri within double quotes, and then specify the string with which you want to replace it, that is shi. So, the outcome of this function will be, instead of rimpy the string will be displayed as shimpy. So, after this we are having one more function for repeating the string, and for this just like any mathematical operation like 2 into 3. So, what it will do, it will multiply 2 3 times. So, that kind of operation can also be performed on strings. So, for this I have done str1 into number of times. So, if number of times taken is let us say 2, so the string will be repeated twice. So, let me show you what it will do. So, I am reading here number of times 2, press enter. So, the string which is taken as input, that is rimpy, then it is multiplied twice, means it is repeated twice, rimpy, rimpy, and output is displayed here. So, these kind of things you can do by using the scope of inbuilt functions in Python. And lastly, what we have done, we have displayed the value corresponding to stu underscore name comma age, and we have assigned the values Rajni to student name and 24 to the age variable. So, you can print more than one values by using the print command in the formatted manner. So, for this we have used here the syntax like this. Percentage s is corresponding to the string value and percentage d is corresponding to the integer value. And after displaying this message, double quotes will be closed and we need to put this percentage mark. It is part of the syntax, and then specify the list of values that you want to replace at the places of these format specifiers. Percentage s will be replaced by student underscore name variable, and percentage underscore d is the format that we are using for age variable. So, in this manner we have seen that Python is having lot of scope in terms of defining the functions, and the added advantage is lot many built-in functions. So, thank you.